AM590, The Answer.
Welcome to another Senior Moment, sponsored by the California Senior Guide, where you're not only seen, but heard. Today we have a very special guest from the American Board of Home Care, Mr. Cameron Akrami. Cameron, welcome to the show.
Hey, Bill, thanks for having us.
I can't tell you how honored we are to have someone of your caliber. You are the president of the American Board of Home Care, is that correct?
I am.
Well, it's not very... During this presidential election, it's nice that a president would drop by and just say hello to us in our office. Thank you very much.
Well, I'll tell you, my campaign was a lot less divisive than what we're seeing out there.
Well, for our audience out there who don't know, what is home care?
Yeah, that's a great question. Home care in California refers to non-medical help that people need in order to stay in their home. Things like bathing or meal preparation, things like medication reminders, anything that they would normally be doing for themselves, but can no longer. Home care brings that type of service to them in their home.
Then what is the big or the difference between the American Board of Home Care, who you represent? What do you do other than that job that's already been done?
Yeah, great. The American Board of Home Care is a coalition or a partnership of a bunch of agencies, different home care agencies.
Great.
So the ABHC, or the American Board of Home Care, is a nonprofit that seeks to educate families and other referral sources on the best practices for home care. It also keeps them safe. There's some dangers that families can face. And so while there are individual agencies that provide the care, the American Board of Home Care is a collection of those that are doing best business practices.
Now, you speak of dangers. And what is like a normal scenario for a family to avoid, one, a danger sign, which it's kind of scary out there because of in our society now, people want to stay at home and they're getting these outside services, these home care services, and you say there's a danger in there. What danger signs, or what should you ask for?
Yeah, well, let's talk for a second about what happens. Why does somebody even need home care?
Right.
So imagine, you've got a mom or somebody maybe at a hospital, and they went into the hospital. Now they're going to be discharged, and you just got a list of agencies from this nurse, and they say, okay, set up care for mom. And now you've got to figure out
who to call.
And this person's coming into my home, and what does that mean? And so you've got to navigate that. And sometimes families don't have the time or the understanding to ask those questions. And the things that impact families the most, in California especially, are getting somebody like an independent contractor sent out to their home. Or if they were to have somebody, let's say, off of Craigslist, are they being background checked? And so the dangers that families face by not getting an agency that's quality or certified by somebody like the American Board of Home Care is that they can run into an issue with a caregiver maybe hurting their back or something else going on. And all of a sudden the family becomes liable for that, for all of the legal and financial costs associated with those types of things.
So you're almost like an accrediting agency.
That's exactly right.
So if you've got 10 or 15 agencies that do home care, you just want to make sure they're of quality.
Yeah.
Because everybody and their mother says, okay, I'll come by and I'll take care of your mother, father, aunt, etc., to take care of a family member. But who are these people? You're saying, well, at least whoever comes to our American Board of Home Care, we've eliminated this criteria of danger signs for the ones who are in our agencies. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, it essentially lets you know that you're comparing apples to apples.
Okay, great.
So rather than opening up the phone book and hoping for the best, you can start with a list. And actually, the website, which I'm sure you'll get to later, has a list of those agencies that have been certified.
Okay.
And so what that means is they're meeting all the basic legal requirements. They're going to leave the family without any sort of legal or financial risk. And so, yeah, it's setting a bare minimum of set standards so that families can make an informed decision.
And that webpage, for those of you who don't want to wait till the end of the show, let's give it to you right now. It's there's a long one and there's a short one. I'll give you both, but I'm going to just refer you back to the short one because it's so easy. The long one is the American Board of Home Care.org. Very wordy, but it's the American Board of Home Care.org. The simple short the short one is ABHC.info. That's ABHC.info. That's where you go and find all these wonderful things that Cameron is saying, or you could always just go on their 800, which is an 877 number. It's 877-436-5259. That's 877-436-5259. But back to the difference between, if you want to take care of your family member, why don't you just call like a Craigslist or go on a website and just say, okay, hey, when can you come over and help navigate my moms or dads or my loved ones? What's the danger sign in that?
Yeah, well, some of the dangers, imagine you call somebody on Craigslist. Well, who is that person? It's possible that they could have, not exaggerating here, but they could have been released from prison yesterday and coming over today.
That's a scary sign.
It is scary.
And did you... just because you brought that up, because I know you have a lot of experience being the president of the agency, you probably have some scary stories that you are like in shock. Does any? I know. I'm putting you on the what's that called? Just
do I have the deer in the headlights look right now?
It's because it's I'm fortunate that I'm not there yet, but because I actually took care of my father when it was time, and it was kind of a surreal type of a feeling for me, because you don't realize how much time, how much effort it takes to take care of a loved one in your house. It sounds like something easy to do, but you have to be pretty passionate. And I just, because I took care of my own family. If for those who don't have the luxury or don't have the time or don't have the strength, because that's a commitment, not only of love, but it's a commitment to take care of someone who can't take care of themselves.
Absolutely.
That needs to be at least go through an agency to find out that, this is the basic requirements that they must have. And if you don't want to just give it to anybody in the phone book or
going online.
The
news is so rife with stories.
It's scary out there.
Of just people who found somebody on some website like a Craigslist or a caring.com or something like that. And next thing you know, there's a news story after the fact saying, oh, this person was bilked for such and such amount. And so really, it's important for families to at least make an educated decision. Sometimes those options for the family are the right option.
Right.
But we try to educate and let people know that these are real financial and legal risks. And we want to make sure they don't end up getting blindsided by something. So we seek to educate them.
You're preventative medicine, basically.
Absolutely.
So you're like, let's avoid the headaches, because it's already a discomfort, a nuisance. Nuisance is a bad word. It's you're not ready for this.
Sure.
And you don't want to make a mistake and not be ready. But I was just going over, how we trust our hospital, we trust our doctors. They are not really in the home care business.
Correct.
And they were just given a list of like 10 names and said, well, here, I can't tell you which one to go to. Here's a list of 10 names.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I want to speak to that for a second.
Please, because, it's, to me, I was given that. I'm like, well, here's a name. I go, well, how did you get him? And what is that? Who gave you that list? Because that's not your business. Your business is to treat people, not give you 10 people who, okay, we can't treat you anymore. Here's are some people in your neighborhood that do what you may want.
Right. Yeah,
that's scary.
We did a study actually a couple of years ago, and we found that hospitals, when they're discharging somebody, 80% of them, the hospital will create a list of just agencies, but 87% of those hospitals don't give the family any way to screen those companies. So families get this list from a hospital and they think it's legitimate or reputable, but the hospital hasn't done anything. 90% of them say they definitely do no type of screening on that list.
They don't have the time.
Correct.
They deal with so many people, and it's like, how are they going to have the time to do, this is what you do. This is your job. This is what you specialize in, making sure they're at least reputable.
Yes. And we've tried to make it really easy. By going to the website, they can find
ABHC.info.
ABHC.info.
You have to give it out because it's so easy. Don't be afraid.
ABHC.info. Go to it now. We have created a roster or a list for each county that has all of those agencies that have been certified.
How nice is that?
Super easy.
You took all the guesswork out. Just say, okay, here's your starting list. Start from here. Because you could start anywhere, but we're giving you something that we've done the work on it already, and you're non-biased. It goes, these are the requirements that everybody in here went through. Bum, 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 bum. Now it's just a matter of you calling 2 or 3 of these facilities and finding if your personality equals their personality. Is there a match? That's how simple you make it, correct?
We've tried to make it so simple so that if you even go on the website, you should be able to then go to their individual websites and you can do a little bit of research. But again, this makes it so you have a great starting point.
How nice is that? I mean, you're taking all the risk, all the guesswork, all the headache of researching. You've already done it, and it's 0 cost. I mean, all you got to do is just go on their webpage, abhc.info, and say, hey, can I use this data that you so painstakingly taken and took your time and said, these are the minimal requirements for a quality care for your loved one. You did all the work. And all you're asking is use the data that you've created to help your loved one. Start there. That's all you're saying. And it's a free service. Is that correct?
100% free.
How can you beat that? I mean, you're doing all the work. You guys are a blessing to the home care industry. I want you to call this number now, 877-436-5259. That's 877-436-5259, or just go on their webpage, abhc.info. That's abhc.info. Cameron Akrami, President of the American Board of Home Care. I can't state enough what an honor it is to have you, and thank you for sharing a senior moment with us.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure.